Hello and welcome to PKRTV. We've got a cash game for you now. Slightly higher stakes than usual. This is $3, $6 blinds. And we've got all of the main cash game players on PKR gunning for gold. In amongst them is the old resident luck box, the Spaniard, Geppetto. Who is this guy? I mean, I've never won a hand against him. In the commentary studio, PKR's very own Dansky and Jake Cody.
Okay, 3-6 no limit hold'em. No doubt we're going to be seeing some of PKR's toughest customers, and I'm sure you would have liked to have been involved in this particular game.
Yeah. I'm sorry I missed it.
Well, we do the higher stakes one once a month, so I'll give you a ring next time.
I'll make sure I got on the waiting list next time.
Well, James is always looking to play and commentate on the play. It adds an extra dimension.
Yeah,
but,
I bet it's fun.
All right, straight off, Jack 10 raises, Queen 10 calls and flops it.
Yep. I've played quite a bit of a heads up with, is it Dial Boy, D-Whale Boy?
Dill Boy.
Yeah, he seems like a solid player.
Yeah, he's pretty well known. He's got some decent results and is a good cash game player.
Yeah. I always think that the heads up cash players are like some of the best players. I always have like mad respect for them.
They get a lot of hands in, a lot of experience pretty quickly.
I think it's like the purest form of poker as well. I think if you can beat heads up cash, you can like beat any form of poker.
Right.
Bet.
If you put the time in.
There you go.
That's an early one.
Big, well, reasonable pot straight away.
Yep.
And
New hand.
yeah, I would.
Table's filling up now.
Yeah, I mean we've these are highlights from a 2-hour session. We have Cash Game TV every Tuesday night, and yeah, here we go. Some of these guys. Geppetto is in the PKR Hall of Fame and is well known for not only running amazingly, but having quite a few weapons in his arsenal.
I've played with him a little bit. I think we played a little bit of 5, 10, 6 max together.
Off he goes. 3x.
Yep, pretty standard open. That's an interesting outfit with Ben Jackson.
They're pretty much mostly interesting
pretty
outfits.
hilarious.
It's a shame they're also incredibly dull when you meet them in real life. I don't mean it.
I fold.
3-bet from So Bad.
So bad. I've played with him a few times as well. He seems very good.
Yes.
Deep enough that it's a simple kind of set mining situation, or is there more to it?
All in.
Wow, they must have a lot of history. That's all I can say.
Let's see the flop.
It seems quite thin to try and get him with 6s here, but I mean, if you think So Bad's that wild, then I mean, it can't be too bad.
Well, that's stacking off pretty big and pretty quick.
That's stacking off really light, but I imagine they've played a lot of hands together. I think they're two of the most like volume players on the side.
I can tell you that Geppetto knows his onions, and he would definitely have understood that whether that's going to be profitable or not. But he's down a buy-in.
Yep, bad start of him, but I'm sure he won't be affected by it.
I'm gonna fold.
No, I'm sure not.
Sure
well, the recipient of that
I call.
makes it 15 with a 10-9.
Deuces calls on the button. I think are we 4-way to the flop? Oh no, it's a small blind.
We are about to go 4-way, I would imagine. King 5 of hearts is easily good enough to make up the numbers, right? But he decides
It's
not
probably
to.
a little marginal, but it can. It's all right.
As long as you don't look at me like you look at Ashley Hames when you're like, Dan, it's too marginal. Shut up.
Wow.
New player.
Wow, this is a big flop for both players. Top 2 pair against straight flush draw and overcard. It's probably going all in there. And you can't blame me for them, really.
Yeah, we are just waiting for the
I like that
fireworks
from
to
So
happen.
Bad. Give him a chance to shove
Let's
Jack
have the
Queen or
turn
some random draw.
Yeah, King Kong 100 big blinds deep. The key thing I should say about Tuesday night cash game TV tables is that the only place on PKR you can get 250 big blind maximum buy-ins. So
wow.
we do provide ourselves with some interesting play on that score.
Yeah, I mean, the deeper the players get, the more interesting hands there is.
Yeah, and we will certainly hope near the end of the session to have some seriously deep stacks and see something very strange indeed.
I hope there's some exciting hands.
McKenny, where is that flag from?
Mexico, I think.
Well known for my...
It looked like Mexico.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, there we go.
I'm actually decent with flags.
Right, right. We're not going to have some sort of flag off here unless you give me odds. I'm typically getting Denmark and Austria and many of the other similar ones wrong. Ace King. Did Ace King open 24?
Yep, before X'd it.
Okay.
Fold.
I think it's a much more standard thing in cash games for the 4X to come out.
All right. Nothing for Gepete, but our experience, long and wonderful and colourful as it is with the
I
Spaniards.
think this is actually quite a good flop to float if you
Right.
are going to go. If you are going to call this on pre.
Yeah, he's not used to giving stuff up without a fight first.
I like it. I mean, he's got the hand this time, but I think another time he just gives up a lot. Wow, and that's a great check because he's just giving Japete some rope. Looks like he's going to hang himself.
And is it, from this point on for Gepete, is it 2 barrels or is this you have a go now and then you back off?
The turn's actually a bad turn for Japete. I think it was a lot better if it's like just some random 6 or something, because it's like a lot of the time
It narrows
Jack to
down the
one of an
number of
ace.
hands he can have.
yeah, and like it means like he's unlikely to fold an ace now. So I think he should just give up here. Easy to say when you can see the cards, but if I couldn't see the cards, I would say that too.
And the 9s are complete irrelevance.
Wow, he called.
Right.
Wow, that is an interesting hand. I mean, he's just got to think. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of the call on the road, to be honest. I love it on the flop and turn.
So Ace King leads the flop.
Yeah.
Check calls turn, leads river.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to play it. But I mean, he got max value from it. It seems like because he would have checked back with the 9-7.
Joining the table is brother Muzone. Some might say he's not only the most badass assassin on TV, but also the finest player on PKR.
I've played some bit with him. I think he owned me in a
Indeed,
big fight, actually.
I remember writing an article for December Stacked magazine, which was something like the 10 biggest pots of 2011,
didn't
and you'd only
realise.
been here a week, and you went to the top.
Yeah.
But you lost it, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, it was. I didn't play it that great, but to be honest, he's a great player. I know him. I think he's well known as Will Dory,
Yeah.
and I've played him a lot live, and he's a really good player.
Yeah, well, last year was his kind of, I don't know whether you would say breakout, because he's always been really good, but I would say this
He's
year we're going to be
playing a lot
seeing-
more live poker, live tournaments especially. We actually we both made the final table of the Monte Carlo in Nottingham.
Right. He has
So
some...
we've had a few battles.
yeah, he's some table presence. He's quiet and deadly, I would say.
No, definitely respect his game. He seems to play really well.
All right, well, he's... figures he's ahead right now with the 6s.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good flop to the 6s. It's quite a loose call from Asgar.
Right, what's he hoping for? The King Jack to pass and the 6s to slow... obviously
yeah.
they can't see the cards, but
I mean, I guess
how's he going to be winning the hand? Is he hoping to spike an ace or a king? It seems strange.
It seems optimistic.
And the King Jack decides to flat and not pop it up on the flop.
I don't mind it too much. I'd probably just put in the raise over early and put pressure on them. It's pretty bad flop to get in with an overpair.
Is there now an opportunity for the Ace King, bizarrely, to kind of take this pot down?
I think with it being three-way, it'd be you can't expect it to get through 2 players there. I think McKenny should definitely bet here. I think a lot it's so difficult for them to be check calling now.
Bet.
And 6s, I think 6s players to fold.
Yeah, best hand, but a tricky spot. Multi-way, out of position to the other 2.
Call.
That's a good call.
This is
Good
the
call.
river.
And it's a really bad river from brother Mozone.
Yeah.
If he wasn't ahead now, if he wasn't ahead on the turn, it's so difficult for him to be ahead now.
Would you hazard a guess if it was, say, a black 9 on the river?
Yep.
how is the action going to go? We can see how it's going to go now pretty much. I'd imagine it's a bet and a fold.
You would think so, yeah. On the back nine, it's interesting to see if Kenny would bluff it, and it would be a tough call on a blank river as well. But I think with him just calling the flop, it kind of eliminates a lot of his like very strong hands on the flop. So I think he would probably call.
That would have been interesting to see.
Yeah.
But instead, the flush comes and kind of gets the king jack gets away with it.
Yeah.
And they get a little bit of value from the ace king.
Full ring cash isn't exactly my speciality, so you're probably going to have to bear with me on a few of the hands.
I
Takes a bit of
think if
thinking.
anyone is listening to this and thinking, oh my God, what is this bloke on about? They should probably read a couple of extra books. Or maybe they've read a few too many. But
Sure, there's a lot of technical stuff that I'm not too good at in these spots, but I think
possibly
the general thought process.
I think from our experience, even though we almost never do six max or heads up for Cash Game TV, and perhaps we will at some stage, perhaps we will.
I'd like that. I'd have a lot more.
Well, we can set you up a special one, and you can take on all comers, should you so wish.
I could. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Actually,
Yeah.
I could maybe play somebody.
Let's have the turn card.
Well,
I've missed the action here, so I'm not really sure what's going on.
but I think even with full ring, because it's Cash Game TV, the play
This
is
is
slightly
the
different
river.
to if we were just kind of peering through the window at this and
Yep.
it was happening on PKR. So you do tend to get people playing certainly a wider range than you
Yeah.
should do if it was a
I imagine a
genuine
lot of
full ring
people
game.
like because they notice the TV table as
Yeah.
well. They'll probably open up the games a lot. Some people might play a lot tighter, but I think some people like try and show bluffs.
I
and,
actually
like,
think people do turn up to these tables knowing that other people will be playing looser
Right.
and have a higher win rate as a result.
Yeah.
But we
'Cause
don't want
people want to show a bluff on TV
Well, yeah.
and stuff, knowing it's going to get shown.
yeah,
so.
we don't want predators here. We want lunatics.
Yeah, definitely. Makes for some interesting dynamics as well with the players. If everyone's
Yeah.
thinking they're bluffing each other, and I bet people find it hard to fold a lot.
Yeah.
Fold.
And Astra passes. Yacht Godin with the ace queen.
Ace queen, yep. Sure he'll open here.
Raise.
Yeah, I think his standard open seems to be 4x, which I think is fine.
What does that do to your variance in the long run as a cash game player? That much? Is it overstated that the effect that has in terms of the three bets are gonna, the pots are immediately gonna be kind of compounded and bigger from this point onwards?
I mean, he happens to have got free bet here, but I think you would tend to get free bet a bit less if
Okay.
you 4x it, because it looks a lot
Here's the
stronger.
flop.
Japeet's free bet here. Actually, I really like the free bet here. We've checked off. I think it's a really good hand to free bet.
Yeah.
And is it a great flop?
The question is, how much money is the ace queen gonna lose from
check.
this point onwards?
Depends how stubborn he's going to get with it.
Well, I would think if we were looking at 50 cent one, we would assume that it's going to be a check fold, but it ain't.
Wow, he's bet
Let's
7.
have the
Right, 7 into
Interesting.
150.
I'm not sure if that was a misclick or he just was trying to induce him to do some sort of raise.
Yeah, that really is.
bet.
Wow, so it's now led. I think Japeet's only place to call here.
He
does.
Let's see the river.
And I can't see Japeet folding to any bet here, unless maybe an all-in.
I check.
The chance of or a check shove would be awesome.
Yeah,
But,
I would put him in a horrible spot.
his opponent hasn't screamed strength the whole way here. What kind of value are you going for?
I think he should definitely bet here. Try and get called by ace high,
I
some
fold.
sort of like pocket pair. He doesn't get the call, but I think it's a good value bet.
I'm just trying to think back, given it was only 10 seconds ago, we should remember really, but did the ace queen lead out on the flop and the jack 10 call in position? Is that what happened?
No, the ace queen checked and the jack 10 bet 7,
Okay.
Right.
which was a very small
New
bet.
hand.
Should you just be, it wasn't too scary a flop, should you just be looking to get a C bet through there and move on to the next hand?
Fold.
With the jack 10?
With the ace queen.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, the ace, actually,
the ace
I'm
queen.
totally wrong, the ace
I didn't have the
queen.
initiative, yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Ace queen just called.
That's why I'm a commentator on PKRTV. Onwards. Brother Muzone
Fold.
gets flat
Just flatted
by
with
the
tens.
tens.
Yep, I think with the positions they're in, it'd be pretty stupid to overrep his hand and free bet here.
Great spot, perfect spot for the 7-8 to just peel one off.
I think against those two opponents, the strong players, I think it's probably better to call. But against some weaker players, I think it's fine to free bet.
Fold.
Well, the ace jack
This
passes.
is interesting. I mean, I think that DYL is always just going to call it.
Here's the flop.
Well,
That is
I
an
check.
interesting flop.
yeah.
Now Ben is going to be getting
Buona
out the
fortuna.
barrels here, I imagine.
And flopping this hard, are you trying to build it even though you might risk losing your customer?
I think I would definitely. I think he should just call it. He's raised. I think he should just call her. Give Ben a chance to like barrel ace king, and like he's probably gonna like keep betting like any sort of overpair he's got as well.
Raise.
Wow, that's
So-
interesting from Ben. I'm not sure. I
So he's
like
not too
this.
fussed about getting blown off his draw
He's
because
not.
the evidence suggests you could easily be getting re-raised back now.
Yeah, I mean, if DYL could like maybe like bluff all in with ace queen, and he'd have the best hand.
Boom, there we go. How much has Ben got behind? 495. He
He
passes.
folds. Wow.
What did he put in? 240 something?
I think he probably should just move in on the flop there, or float the raise.
Right.
Mm.
New hand.
Yeah, I'm not sure I liked either the way he even played that hand.
New hand.
Yeah, that was...
I think DYL by calling the flop he gives Ben some free cards, but I think he's like it's like ridiculous that he even has outs against his top set hand on
Yeah.
10-5-6 rainbow. So I think giving free cards is fine.
I think if you couldn't see the whole cards, you would be forgiven for thinking that Ben was telling the story of a strong hand, something like an overpair, where you were just thinking with pocket tens,
Fold.
okay, fine, let's get it in here kind of thing. Maybe that was the
Yeah,
the
maybe.
thinking.
Here comes the flop.
Okay, let's do it.
No flop ever going to be that good for the deuces, but he's got position.
That's a pretty ugly board for deuces.
And his stack is such that
It's the turn.
Wow,
yeah,
Asher calls.
he raised gets
Grazie.
snapped with a gut shot and 2 overs.
I think raising that flop's a lot better than calling with the deuces. And I can't believe Asher called, and he's got really lucky on the turn to hit a pair of.
Yeah, and that's
Turns out.
half his stack, and there's going to be horrible news right now for the Punisher.
I think I'll raise.
Wow, yeah, he's gone for it.
I fold.
No, grazie.
I mean, what do you do? Do you just shut down on the turn?
With the deuces.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
New
Rather
hand.
than, I mean, even a
that's
pot.
actually a good turn to represent. I think that's maybe one of the turns I bet,
New hand.
just because like you could easily have some sort of straight draw.
Right.
But
How do you decide what size to bet when the pot is such and your stack is such that
yeah,
you're going to be, you can't really move in? It would be kind of a bizarre overbet.
I think his bet was okay, but I
Right.
think
Buona
he's kind of unlucky to
Fold.
get it to in a way to like the guy just called on the flop. It's pretty ridiculously called.
I'm gonna raise. I fold.
Lance Chucky, winner of the PKR Masters, I believe, once upon a time, using his money wisely with Ace King.
Could be free betting here with the ace three of clubs from the small blind. I think it's just a
I
button open.
fold.
No, I decides to take the nitty option and fold.
Yeah, which is not an option usually
you're
taken
right.
by Geppetto,
Let's see the
who
flop.
doesn't mind playing out of position and
Depends from the
full.
jack eight of
Yeah,
spades.
flops a gut shot. Both of them have a gut shot.
Okay,
have
let's do
the
this.
Turn card.
Wow,
Well,
turns the absolute nuts.
Io passo.
and that is the gin card to get a bit of money out of Geppetto.
I'm gonna bet.
Io vedo.
Here
Pot's
comes
remaining
the
pretty
river.
small. How's he going to get? How much is he going to get now? Pot's 91. Have a guess.
I
Passo.
think you should probably bet about
100?
52,
Right, okay.
60.
60. It's close enough.
Io
There you
vedo.
go.
Wow, he called.
How
Yeah,
often?
and He's not having the best of times there. He seems to be losing every hand he plays.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, let's see how he ends up. He is one of these guys that
Okay.
gives
Next
action and
round.
gets action. And so
Yep,
it can,
I'm sure he plays off his image really well.
yeah, it can turn around pretty quickly for him.
Yep.
Ben Jackson gets threes.
Don't think he'll be folding there.
Raise. Io lascio.
7-8 suited next to act from the Punisher.
Fold.
Yeah, he didn't. He
Fold.
didn't have even a full stack, so I think the fold's fine.
Fold.
Call.
Yep, easy call with the fives.
Fold.
And I expect, yeah,
call.
King Jack to call as well. Oh, that would be quite a good spot to squeeze. But I think call's also fine.
Not much
Io
to think
lascio.
about for Geppetto.
Here
We
comes the
are
flop.
3-way, and it's raggy
Wow.
enough to be exciting.
And Ben and DYL both need each other's cards to hit the straight.
I bet.
And how often
Raise.
do you lead out? If you're Jake Cody, how often do you lead out into 2 others with pocket 3s?
On that flop every single day of the week. It's a great flop. You've got a gut shot. Like, it's pretty ragged. It's pretty hard for people to have improved if they didn't have a pair pre-flop.
And now you're in a pretty grubby spot.
Now you're in a
Let's
horrible
have
spot.
the
Wow, calls.
turn card.
I'd be
I check.
surprised if DYL bets here.
What's he putting his opponent on? The open pre-flop under the gun,
Check.
led
Yeah.
out, and then
And
called a
here
raise.
Yeah, it's so...
The
Wow,
raise.
what a card.
Oh dear.
That's sick.
Well, they are pretty deep, however.
Yeah, how much does Ben have?
Are they going to get it in? Ben actually had 500.
Oh, yeah, if he's
Um,
only got 500.
I think he's probably only got like another 270
Ah,
back.
Yeah,
maybe
with
he's
that,
not that
amount,
deep. Right.
they're always getting it.
Yeah.
in.
Let's have a look. What a racket!
And now Ben's like, what the hell's going on? What can he even have?
Right, they are deeper than I thought. Can you ever see a pass in this spot?
It would be a great fold. I mean, I think it would be very difficult to fold because it's
I mean, you
like
get,
you can't really have that many hands besides like if he's raised with 7, 8.
Right.
Or
but Dealboy's known to be a
Yes.
very strong player, but not someone I don't think who's going to go off the deep end.
wow, that's a great fold. Great fold.
Yeah.
With him raising the flop and checking back the turn, you can't expect him to have any full houses. I'm surprised he folded that, actually. It's a great fold, but I don't even know. I don't think I could have folded that.
Well, hopefully we'll get to find out at some point whether you
Okay.
can make these great
New
folds.
hand.
We're gonna. I noticed that you said at the start of the show that you're not a full ring. That
No,
was
no.
just setting. That was just like getting the excuse for
Yeah,
when
yeah.
we put you on one of these
Of course,
tables and you
I've
get
got to find the
trashed.
excuse.
All right. Session coming to an
I
end.
fold.
Let's see. Usually there's some fireworks. Sometimes, although probably not at this level,
Rilancio.
they all agree to
Fold,
do
yeah,
just chip in 100 bigs each
Oh, really?
on the end. Yeah, but I would imagine not at 3-6.
No, it's quite a big game.
Okay.
So, do you repeat with the ace jack 3 bets in position?
Fold.
I think they're quite deep here, so I think it's fine to call with the 5, 6 of diamonds.
Yeah, this could be a bit of a monster.
You might have a
Call.
4 bet, but he decides to call.
Here comes the flop.
And well, 10, 9, 3.
I check.
Yeah, absolute squadouche for Dillboy.
Yeah, yeah. I'd be interested to see what
It's
happens
the
there. Oh,
turn.
decides to check it back.
Why is he checking it back there?
I think especially with 9, 10 flops with a flush draw, like they hit your opponent's range so much of the time. He hasn't this time, but all sorts of king, jack, jack, queen hands can like check
Yeah.
raise you off the best hand, or like they will have the best hand. I think he's just trying to get to showdown
Yeah.
really.
And here's
Calls
the
figuring his ace
river.
can be good still,
Yep.
Check.
and the pot's not too big.
Passo.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I think it's a good call on 10.
And that
And
is...
he's unlucky.
Ben
DYL hit a
passo.
5.
Yes, he is. There we go. Geppetto does not win every pot. It's
no,
official.
I like the way he played that hand. He played it well.
Yeah. He is a fine young player.
New hand.
Just time enough for someone to surprise us.
New
Have we
hand.
seen a 4-bet today? I'm just trying to think. Pre-flop.
Not from the hands we've seen.
Right.
Could be seen one here.
Raise.
Disappointing.
I call.
I fold.
Wow, the king queen suited
Yeah,
folded there.
sure.
That's a tight fold.
Fold. I fold.
Looks like we're going to be heads up. No, maybe Hasgar.
Yep.
We've seen some strange moves from this gent once or twice.
No.
Come on, call it.
I
Oh, no.
fold.
All right.
So heads
Here
up to the flop.
comes the flop.
Oh,
Wow, big flop.
okay. Well, we just have a boring cooler to to finish with then. Lance Chucky's got a grand.
Yeah.
What's Astra got?
I'm gonna bet.
I expect however much they've got, I can't see them
I
not
think
getting all
I'll
in there.
raise.
Wow, this could be huge. There was 75 in the pot
Yeah.
after the pre-flop action. This is effective stacks of a grand 69.
Let's have the turn
call.
Oh,
card.
calls. That's interesting that you can get on the flop.
Check. I'm gonna check.
7.
Wow.
Wow. How's that for a conservative play?
Very conservative. I'm surprised the sevens let
Bet.
the other player have
I'm
a
gonna
chance to
call.
catch up. There's so many terrible
There you
turns for him.
go.
Do you think the sevens was already a little bit concerned, not so much about the ace, but about the flop? I mean, there's
Maybe.
obviously a few hands.
This definitely could have been, but I think if you sat undecided, I can't get it.
well, I guess we are a little bit shell-shocked here. I felt like we were about to get like
a $2,000 pot.
Yeah, well, never mind. There we go. That is the end of that session. Let me just do some bookkeeping for you. The loser from this session, or at the bottom of the leaderboard, is Geppetto with $1,200 down. The winner is Dillboy with $1,170. Generally, let's forget that it was a full ring game. They were kind of active, and that you could just see a few glimpses of some people trying to make something happen there.
Yep. I think there was some good regs in the game, and there was some tricky play. It was good.
And you're looking forward to getting stuck in next time.
Looking forward to it. A little bit nervous.
Why? I think is your reputation just as a live tournament legend?
Yeah, everyone thinks I'm just a live donk. So
Well, we are going to
probably
scotch
true.
that next time when you will see Jake up against the best. Jake, thank you very much for joining us. Folks, join us again on PKR.TV.